Well, in honor of those who are being commissioned this Sunday, I would like to offer just some thoughts. Normally, we have a Sunday school class, but because of commissioning, we will not. And so I hope that this will be a short little substitute. I'd like to share 10 things that I've learned about officership. Um, First of all, number one, it's about being called. By that, I mean, it is knowing that God, for his own reasons, has decided that the best possible use of my life is to serve him as a Salvation Army officer. What God's will is for other people, I cannot say. But for me, it is about being called. There is no way that service as an officer makes sense unless there is a call. Number two, the needs of my people demand better than my best. I remember hearing of one of the grandchildren of the founder telling him that she had done something and that it was the best that she had. He looked at her and thundered, "Your best? You must always give better than your best if you are to serve God and his people. To give my best means I use all my resources. To give better than my best means I exhaust these and draw on his." Number three, I do not live to myself. If I compromise, if I'm unfaithful, if I become self-absorbed, my personal bankruptcy not only affects my spiritual life, but it hurts the people I'm called to serve. Whether I like it or not, whether it is fair or not, what I am goes beyond me. Number four, the Salvation Army has made only one promise to me. When the cadets are commissioned, you will not hear anyone say, "You will be a territorial commander," or "You will be divisional youth secretary," or "You will be a training college officer." The only promise the Army makes to the officer is the opportunity to serve. Although I've had some ideas of what I should or should not do, I have to remind myself that no promises were ever made except that I would be allowed to serve. The Army has kept its promise. Number five, if I'm willing to accept the good that comes as an officer, I ought not to complain when something bad happens. There was a time when it seemed to me that the Army was terribly unfair. I complained angrily and often to whoever would listen. Then in a quiet moment, I heard the Lord speak. "How is it that you receive the good without reservation, and now you complain because you received something bad?" Only the most self-centered person can think that the sun ought always to shine on their parade. Number six, there have been costs I could not have imagined. My wife and I served as Corps officers in Bradenton, Florida for 7 years. During that time, we watched many healthy people weaken and then die. As I served longer, the funerals were harder and harder to do because the people had grown much dearer to my heart over the years. The cost of loving them was the pain of grieving them. There have been many other costs as well that I did not see, but was called upon to give. Number seven, there is no resting place. I have known a great many officers. None has ever arrived. None have reached a place where they couldn't go deeper, couldn't learn more, couldn't be stretched. We are pilgrims, not settlers. Number eight, my heart has had to be broken regularly. I hate the times when my heart has been broken, but find that if it is not, it too soon becomes hardened against the bleeding of the world, or becomes deaf to the whisper of the Spirit, or can look at the wounds of Christ unmoved. Better to weep bitterly than to not weep at all. Number nine, the Salvation Army is one of God's good ideas. Because people are involved and we have a nasty habit of bringing our fallen natures into the picture, the Army sometimes fails to be all that it should be, but it remains one of God's gifts to the world. I kneel with it at the altar with the penitent. I feel it in the hugs of the Home League women. I see it in the eyes of a young person who yields to God's call. I rejoice in it when it opens its arms to the hurting of the world. If there was no Salvation Army, the world would be a poorer place. With all of its faults, it is a privilege to serve in an army like this. Number 10, I would do it all over again. I have made mistakes that still haunt me over the years. I have failed time and again, but I have marveled at those times when God saw fit to use me while wearing this uniform. I am human enough to wish some things had come out differently, but honestly, I cannot think of anything that has been more of an honor than to serve God through the Salvation Army. My only regret is that I haven't done it better. My great joy is that I have been allowed to do it at all. May God bless our new officers. May God bless the Salvation Army. May God bless you.